Breaking news, Bolts fans, get ready, because what I'm about to tell you could change the entire direction of the Los Angeles Chargers season. Behind the scenes, the front office has been making moves so bold, so unexpected, that they could either launch this team into serious Super Bowl contention, or leave us stunned, asking what just happened. We're talking about three major storylines: roster decisions that strike right at our biggest weakness, injury updates that had the coaching staff sweating bullets, and trade rumors that could bring in a game-changing weapon no one saw coming. This isn't just news, it's the kind of stuff that shakes the foundation of a franchise. High voltage, but before we dive into the latest updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to turn on the bell icon, so you never miss a single piece of breaking Chargers news. Now, let's move on to the latest developments. Here's where it all begins. The Chargers have made emergency adjustments along the offensive line, the very trenches that protect our golden boy quarterback. After last season's struggles, Jim Harbaugh and his staff aren't taking any chances. These moves aren't random. They're sharp, calculated, and they send a loud message: the Chargers are done playing catch-up. They're going on the attack. The second storyline, Bolts fans, is one that finally lets you breathe again. For days, we've all been wondering about missing players, mysterious injuries, and the whispers that had fans holding their breath. Well, the silence has been broken, and the truth is bigger than anyone expected. And if that wasn't enough, there's a third shocker brewing, a trade rumor that could bring a former first-round star into Los Angeles. Imagine an elite tight end suiting up in powder blue and gold. That's the kind of move that flips an entire division on its head. But let's start with the first bombshell. Out of nowhere, veteran tackle David Sharp has been given a lifeline back to the practice squad. Now, don't mistake this for some ordinary shuffle. This is Jim Harbaugh drawing a line in the sand, sending a clear signal that the offensive line, the very shield protecting Justin Herbert, will not be left vulnerable again. Think back to when Rashawn Slater went down last year. The panic. The frustration. The realization that our biggest weakness had been exposed. The coaching staff hasn't forgotten, and this time, they're fighting tooth and nail to make sure history doesn't repeat itself. And here's the twist that will make every fan's blood boil: the Chargers actually had their eyes on another lineman. They moved fast, tried to snag him off waivers, but the Dallas Cowboys swooped in and stole the deal. Just like that, the plan was ripped away. But Harbaugh isn't a man who folds under pressure. Within hours, he pivoted, brought Sharp back, and reinforced the trenches before the situation could spiral. This wasn't just a move. It was a statement. This isn't just about filling a roster spot. This is about one thing: making sure Justin Herbert stands tall in the pocket. Every time number 10 drops back, the entire season hangs on whether or not he has a clean pocket to fire off those laser throws. Now here's the reality, Bolts fans. The Chargers are rolling with just 8 offensive linemen on the entire 53-man roster. 8. That's living on the edge: one bad step, one rolled ankle, and suddenly the whole line could collapse like a house of cards. With Rashawn Slater's situation still hanging in the air, this move was more than urgent, it was survival. The timing tells the whole story. Right before Week 1, the front office is scrambling to patch the one weakness that could sink the entire season. And let's be clear, this isn't just some background depth piece. This is an outright acknowledgement: our Super Bowl hopes depend on keeping Justin Herbert upright and healthy. And here's the kicker: don't think this is the last adjustment. Word inside the building is simple: if any reliable lineman shakes free in the coming weeks, the Chargers will be first in line. They're not sitting back. They're ready to strike. But as the trenches are being reinforced, another headline has been hanging over this team like a storm cloud. For weeks, whispers swirled, rumors spread, and fans demanded answers. Then finally, it happened. Mikai Beckton stepped up to the mic and broke his silence. The truth about his sudden disappearance from training camp is now out, and what he revealed will either calm every fan's nerves, or keep them lying awake at night, still worried about the future of the offensive line. For every single day that Mikai Beckton was missing from the field, anxiety ran through Bolts Nation like a current. No updates, no clarity, just silence. And in that silence, the doubts grew louder. But now, the mystery is over. Beckton finally stepped forward and revealed what really kept him away. It wasn't some catastrophic setback. Instead, he admitted he'd been battling the nagging, wear-and-tear issues that have followed him throughout his career. But here's what stood out: it wasn't just about the pain. It was about what he missed. The locker room. The chemistry. The bond with his teammates. Beckton said himself, "I'd rather be around my guys than stuck in the training room. Anyone would. I just missed being with them, building that chemistry." That, Bolts fans, is not just a quote. That's the mindset of a man who wants to be here. A man who understands this isn't just another season, it's the foundation of something bigger. But let's be real. We had every right to worry. Beckton's injury history reads like a warning label, and this team desperately needs him to be more than just available. Remember, it wasn't until he shifted to guard last year that his career truly came alive. Now, he's being asked to be the anchor of one of the weakest interior offensive line units in football. The pressure on him? Massive. Because this isn't just about plugging holes. Beckton is the difference maker, the key that could unlock Justin Herbert's full arsenal. He's the swing factor between a running game that's dead on arrival, or one that finally keeps defenses honest. And here's the reason for optimism: he's back at practice. He's talking to the media. And he doesn't sound broken, he sounds determined. Determined to prove that he can handle the weight of an entire franchise's expectations on his shoulders. We can only hope those nagging issues for Beckton don't snowball into something bigger as the season grinds on. But just when it felt like the roster chaos was finally settling, boom. A story breaks that could completely redefine what the Chargers' offense looks like in 2025. And this one, Bolts fans, is massive. Whispers are coming out of Atlanta, and the name being floated is enough to make every defensive coordinator in the league lose sleep: Kyle Pitts. Yes, the former first-round pick. 6'6", a walking mismatch, the tight end who racked up over 1,000 yards as a rookie and looked unstoppable. Reports say the Falcons are exploring trade options, and guess which team keeps popping up as a fit? That's right, our Los Angeles Chargers. Now just picture this for a moment. Justin Herbert in the red zone, staring down defenses with Kyle Pitts lined up inside. Seam routes up the middle. Jump balls no cornerback can reach. While Keenan Allen and Mike Williams stretch the field outside, Pitts is carving up the middle like a nightmare no linebacker wants to wake up from. It's the kind of move that doesn't just improve an offense, it changes the playbook entirely. Of course, here's the reality check. Pitts hasn't been the same since his rookie explosion. Injuries slowed him down. Production dipped. And let's be honest, the Falcons' passing game hasn't exactly given him the platform to shine. But sometimes, all it takes is the right quarterback, the right system, and the right moment for a player to ignite again. And if that moment happens in powder blue and gold? The Chargers wouldn't just be dangerous. They'd be terrifying. Let's be real about something, Bolts fans. Jim Harbaugh may want a ground and pound identity, running the ball more than half the time, but he's no fool. When you have Justin Herbert, you don't put him in a box. You find ways to unleash him in the moments that matter most. And that's where a player like Kyle Pitts could change everything. Pitts wouldn't need to step in as the every-down starter right away. But imagine having him as that secret weapon, the guy you unleash when the game hangs in the balance. 3rd and long. Red zone. Overtime. That's when you want a 6 feet 6 inches mismatch who can out-jump safeties and burn linebackers down the seam. Now, the Falcons' reported asking price? At least a day 2 draft pick. That's no small gamble. So the question becomes, is it worth it? Is it worth betting on a tight end who, if he regains even a glimpse of that rookie-year dominance, could elevate Herbert into a new stratosphere? Here's my take: absolutely. Championship teams aren't built on hesitation. They're built on boldness. Harbaugh has already shown he's willing to reshape the trenches with urgency. Beckton is back and determined to silence doubts about his health. The offensive line is being fortified piece by piece. And now, possibly, an elite pass-catching weapon is within reach. This isn't about stacking names on a roster. It's about seizing the moment. Protecting Herbert. Surrounding him with weapons. Giving this team every chance to break through the ceiling that's haunted them for years. So here's the real question, Bolts Nation. Are the Chargers ready to pull the trigger on a move that could define their championship window? Because if they are, then we might be looking at the start of the most electrifying season in franchise history. The future is right in front of us. And it feels electric.